Cheese is the only dairy food that's yang. All the rest are yin. And they're not just yin or yang, it's just that dairy is very congesting. Now I know there are proponents of eating lots of dairy food. And I'll tell you this little vignette story. That one of the main public proponents of eating unpasteurized dairy food is the Weston Price Foundation. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. Anybody heard of them? Okay. And the woman who leads that is Sally Fallon. And Sally Fallon was here in Asheville about 5 years ago, gave a several-day program at a college near here. And I went to it. And she's touting all the dairy food, and it's got all this science behind it, right? And she's blowing her nose, blowing her nose, blowing her nose, and coughing up phlegm, coughing up phlegm. And she says, "I eat a pound of butter a day." I am quoting her. And she's got all this phlegm coming up and not drawing some connection. So I'm not saying that some people might have some virtue for some dairy, and I've already said that all foods can be medicine. Let's even state this clear. I have recommended red meat to people to eat as a medicine. I am not objecting to any food on the surface just because it's yang or yin. Food is medicine. All foods can be medicine. Of course, best quality. When and how. I will tell you on Monday my in-depth story of the macrobiotic history, but I will just snap out one little vignette from it, which I was cooking at one of the macro restaurants in Boston named Sinai, but then a new one started called Seventh Inn. And a famous Japanese macrobiotic chef named Hiroshi Hayashi, who's no longer alive, but a great chef, was teaching others how to cook there. And they were cooking more widely than the narrow Sinai restaurant. And there was an idea with the Framingham health study, a heart disease, to have macrobiotic people eat meat and test their blood and their blood pressure and things. And they got volunteers, and Hiroshi said, "I will cook the meat so it's very harmonious." And about a dozen people signed up for it. And it proved that if you cook it right, you don't get skyrocketing blood pressure or a lot of heavy cholesterols in the body. They did it for like a month, so it wasn't a lifetime. But I'm just saying foods can be cooked in a way that can make it a medicine if we understand the art of cooking.